What's up, everyone? We're back. Welcome to another episode of the Infinite Podcast. This is episode number 4. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Still working out the kinks. Episode number 4. This one's called Emotions.
I am Infinite G.
I am here with Infinite G, your WWG champion.
And this is...
And I am Dad, the world's most handsome dad. I gave myself that title, so I'm just going to go with it. What do you think?
It's pretty funny and yeah.
It's funny. It's pretty true if you think about it. I'm really, really ridiculously good looking. But enough about that. We are on YouTube. You can follow us at Infinite G on YouTube or our Instagram, which is at Infinite G 0905.
Like and subscribe because we're giving out a toy WWE championship to whoever subscribes or whoever our 200 subscriber is.
So we are giving a toy WWE championship to our 200th subscriber. So that's exciting. We are almost there. All right, G, you picked this episode, which is called Emotions, and we're going to get right into it because we have all kinds of emotions that we're feeling. Emotions, basically energy in motion. Emotions are different forms of energy that we experience and feel, like happiness, sadness, anger, things like that. Those are emotions. So that's the topic that you decided to pick. I'm going to give you the mic. My question to you is, why did you pick that topic, and what does the word emotions mean to you?
Well, I picked emotions because, you know what, I don't really know why that much. I guess I just picked it because I don't know. It was just a thing that popped up in my head. Happy, sad, anger. So I just made it feelings, emotions. And what it what it means to me is how you feel. Just how you feel.
How you feel when you're holding the mic. Try to hold it right like this and speak into it like this and not move it around, okay? That is basically exactly what it is. Emotions, the feelings that you're experiencing in the moment, right? Like
What you feel like.
what you feel like. Yes. Yeah. Like right now I feel happy because I'm with my best bud and we're doing the podcast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Earlier I think I was feeling a little sad, but I feel a lot better. So.
And you know who else is happy?
Say it again.
You know who else is happy?
Who?
Goldberg, because he just won the title, brother.
Goldberg just beat Sid Justice for the WCW championship. How cool. The emotions that he's feeling right now is excitement and happiness. Yeah?
Yeah.
And I want to talk about emotions because it's important to talk about emotions. It's important to learn what emotions are. And you basically said how you're feeling. That's true. And it's important to let you know that it's okay to experience all the emotions because we're human beings and we're having a human experience. So part of the human experience is experiencing all of the emotions, and even anger and sadness and those emotions, we're supposed to experience those to see what they even feel like. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I say this because nobody ever talked to me about my emotions, and for Dad is extremely emotional and he is built on emotion. So it was really hard for me to navigate through life being so emotional because I'm just very emotional. I feel everything, and I'm just an emotional and sensitive being. I wish I had somebody to guide me and let me know what emotions are, and also let me know that it's okay to experience all of the emotions as long as we don't let those emotions control us. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You can experience the emotion of anger, but don't let it control you. Don't let it make you an angry person. It's okay to feel angry. It's okay to feel that. We're human beings. We all feel that. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel happy. It's okay to feel all of those things. It's great to feel the positive things, but it's not great and it doesn't feel good to experience negative emotions. But by experiencing the negative emotions that we go through in life, we appreciate the positive ones even more. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's like we almost need the negative emotions to experience so we know what experiencing love and joy and happiness feels like. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So when I feel angry, which even Dad has his moments, especially early in the morning, he could be cranky and angry because he's not a morning person. I experience those emotions. I honor them. I'm aware that I'm aware that I'm feeling that emotion, and now because I understand what emotions are, I'm able to turn that angry emotion, take a deep breath, maybe meditate through it, and let it go, and then move on from it and start experiencing happy emotions, replacing the negative emotions with positive ones. Because I know that I'm a human being. I'm going to feel these negative emotions. I'm going to feel anger. I'm going to feel sad sometimes. That's part of life.
Yeah.
So it's okay to feel those. It's okay to feel sadness. Just don't let it take over. Don't let it control you. You have the power to control how you feel. And you could be experiencing a very negative emotion at the time, but you ultimately have the power to turn it around. This is coming from somebody who was in a very negative mindset and very angry all the time and sad and stuff like that all the time. I was able to turn my life around because I realized this. I realized that I was letting my emotions get the best of me. And I was basically reacting purely based off my emotions, which you really shouldn't do. So it's important. It's important to talk about our feelings. Sometimes I feel like you don't always tell me exactly what you're feeling in the moment, and I would like for you to be a little more open with me. I know that it's not always easy to open up, but sometimes I feel like you're a little closed off. Like I know I can feel you, man. You and I have a very strong connection and bond, and we feel each other. It's almost like sometimes we read each other's minds, right?
What am I thinking about?
Probably Batista or something like that.
No, it was the word pizza came in my head.
Oh, okay. Um, so, but no, we have a very special bond, and I can already feel everybody else's emotions because I'm an empath. I can really feel your emotions and what you're feeling. So sometimes I know you're going through something, and I feel like you're not telling me what it is. Is there a reason why?
I don't know. I don't know that much.
Maybe is it just sometimes hard is it hard for you to express your emotions?
Sometimes, yeah.
Why?
It's just hard because sometimes you don't know what you're feeling.
Oh, that's fair. Sometimes your emotions are confusing you.
Yeah, that could be.
Well, I want to let you know whatever emotion that you're feeling, it's okay to feel, and you are your own soul, you are your own being. You are living your own life, your own experience, and you need to feel your own emotions no matter what they are. And I support you, but you're going to have to experience those yourself, and just keep in mind just to not let them control you, because sometimes I feel like you let your emotions get the best of you like Dad. And I see a lot of me in you in that sense. So just know that, it's okay to feel these emotions. I also want to let you know that this is something that I feel like a lot of men struggle with, and that's the emotion of crying. I feel like a lot of men suppress crying. I feel like a lot of men want to cry, but they think that it makes you weak if you cry. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think a lot of men and little boys are taught that we're not supposed to cry, and we hold it in and we suppress that feeling of sadness and crying, and it builds up. And I just want to say that it is very important to cry. and it doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you soft. It makes you a human being because we all experience the emotion of sadness and crying, right?
Right. Yeah.
But I do feel like there are a lot of men who hold it in, and even like Junior Boy, sometimes I feel like he feels like if he wants to cry, but he can't, like he's not supposed to cry. And it's like, I think a lot of us are taught that we're not supposed to cry, but we are. We're meant to cry, and I do have to say that crying is very healing because I cry sometimes. Sometimes I feel down, and sometimes I'm feeling unsure about things, and sometimes I'm just at a point where I feel like I need to cry and release, and I do. And when I do that, it's actually very healing for my soul. So crying is healing for you, and it is therapeutic. It's good for the soul. Little boys, men, this is messages for you. It's okay to cry because I really feel like we're taught that we're not supposed to cry. And I'm here to say that that is not true. That we are supposed to experience that emotion, and we're supposed to cry, and we're supposed to heal like everybody else. So it's important to talk about these things. That's what I wanted. When you said you wanted to do a podcast on emotions, that's what came to mind right away because I feel like that is part of what is wrong with society in a way. I don't want to say, yeah, I do want to say that. The fact that I feel like a lot of men and boys feel like they can't cry. Do you feel like you can't cry? Be completely honest.
No, I know. No, I feel like I can cry.
Because you do cry.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
And when you do cry, like, and you, because okay, so let me ask you this, and this is like a little personal, but we were at soccer practice, and I made you cry because I was the coach, and I don't know what I said to you, but you started crying on the field. Mrs. Jones came over to comfort you. I don't remember what I said that made you cry, but you did start crying, and you started crying in front of the entire team. So, do you remember that?
Yeah.
What did I do that made you cry, and how did you feel crying in front of the entire team? Because somebody did point it out. Somebody said, "Are you crying?" You know.
It was Elijah.
So somebody did point out, "Are you crying?" And you're like, "No," or I don't remember if you said no or whatever. But how did you feel? Like, talk about that experience because that was an experience that you had.
Well, what made me cry? What made me cry is when you. What did you say? I think you said. I can't remember what you said either, but you said something, and then I started crying, and I kind of felt embarrassed in front of the team.
You felt embarrassed because of what I said, or because you started crying?
Because I started crying.
Well, in that moment, I may have been maybe a little too. I don't want to say hard on you. I feel like I don't remember what it is that I said to you. I just don't remember off the top of my head. I'm sorry that I hurt your feelings though, because that wasn't my intention, and it's not fine now. It's not fine. I mean, I never want to be the one that hurts your feelings because I know what it feels like to have mine hurt, and I'm very sensitive, just like you. I am very sensitive, and my feelings get hurt very easily. So I never want to do that to you, even though sometimes I do, because sometimes that could be a little hard. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, and I know that, and I'm not trying to be because I love you so much, and I know, I know you do, and I'm constantly watching out for you, and I just want what's best for you, and I get that. That's how my dad was. Papa was super hard on me, and I really do my best not to be as hard on you as he was on me, because I know how much it hurt my feelings at times. But he was just doing his best because he loved me so much, and that was his way of showing me love. So I'm not trying to hurt your feelings because I'm very considerate of your feelings. I know you're sensitive like me, and I take that into great consideration. I really do because I know how it feels. I do. So just know that it's never intentional to hurt your feelings or make you feel bad, especially in front of the team. Sometimes you act up. Do you at least admit that?
Yeah, I do act up.
So don't you feel like sometimes it's hard on me to coach and sometimes I need to be a little hard on you?
Yeah, that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's not because I'm trying to be mean to you. It's because you're the coach's son, and I feel like the coach's son should set the example sometimes.
Yeah.
That's all that it is. It's not always easy to be the coach and then have a child on the team, and like I have to discipline you too, especially if you're acting up.
Right.
It's nothing personal. I love you, and I'm just really. I I know that
Protective.
I'm protecting you, but I also know how I can be, and I know that I can hurt your feelings sometimes. So, I do apologize for hurting your feelings because it's never intentional. Maybe my delivery needs a little work. Maybe the way that I go about talking to you needs a little work. I'm not trying to embarrass you in front of the team. That's the last thing that I want. Truthfully, I want to build your confidence. I don't want to take it away. So, but I do feel like sometimes you need discipline when you're acting out. But yeah. So I got to work on my delivery. But you're my bud, and I love you.
Love you too.
And you shouldn't feel embarrassed for crying in front of the team.
And you know what else I love? Doing a stoner on you.
Oh, he is obsessed with wrestling. I guess it was destined to happen because he's my child. But I thought that was a good talk about emotions. I do like that you are vulnerable on the mic as well. I have to tell you this. It takes a lot of courage to get in front of the camera, to talk about our feelings, and share it with the world. It takes a lot of courage.
Sure does.
You should be proud.
I am proud. And today we got another news forecast about the weather. It's about 70, maybe 72 degrees outside. Nice warm night.
It's a beautiful night. I think G's going to be a weatherman down the road. I do have to say I made an adjustment on the lights, and it looks a lot better on the screen because before you can see the glare on my 5 head. And seriously, actually, it's. I mean, Dad's forehead is so big. It's 6, 7, or 8 head. And I can see the lights just glaring. I was like, it was almost blinding. I was like, oh my gosh, people are going to watch this and be blinded by my forehead. So the lighting looks a little bit better this time around. We can project a movie on my forehead in the summertime. We can have movie time in the park. So you're all invited. And we're going to play probably like Finding Nemo on my forehead.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that will be fun.
We'll play some It on your forehead.
Play it on my forehead?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know the movie It?
Oh yeah, yes, I do that. No, yeah, that's scary.
I can't.
That's scary for me too. But the lighting looks better, so I'm happy with that. Because last episode I was like,
You can see my hand.
Yeah. Last episode I was looking a little greasy, and the light was just like it looked like I don't know. I don't even know. But I'm grateful that okay, enough about that. But it's fun to go and be ourselves, and for me, it's important to be myself, be my authentic self. Dad's a little goofy. Dad, silly sometimes. That's who we.
His Jim Carrey voice.
Oh gosh, we're not going to do that right now because you put me on the spot. But eventually, it's coming. So, like I was saying though, I am proud of you for putting yourself out there because not a lot of people have the courage to do this, and even myself, because it is scary because we live in a world now where, no matter what you say, you're probably going to offend somebody somewhere.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All we can do is just try to become the best version of ourselves and live in love and treat other people the way that we want to be treated. So we're still learning too. We're human beings. None of us have it all figured out. We are all still learning as we go, and I get that. So, but it's important to talk about these things, especially emotions. And I think that's G's cue to wrap things up. So we got 2 minutes. No, that's basically it. It's just, but it is important to have these talks because nobody ever talked to me about emotions and stuff like that. Or let me know that it was okay to cry because I did want to cry a lot. But I think as little boys and men, we're told that we're not supposed to, and I'm here to say that that is not true. That is the opposite of what we should do because crying is very healing it's so healing for the soul. So with that being said, Infinite G and Dad, saying one, love, peace, and equality to everybody always. G and I are gonna have a wrestling match and have dinner, so we're gonna do that. I have a topic for the next episode though.
What is it?
It's
What is it?
it is why Dad decided to become vegan, and I think that would be a cool topic to have. So it just came to my mind just now because Dad is making vegan chicken sliders, and yeah, I think that would be an interesting topic, and to share why I because Dad was a meat eater. Dad ate a lot of meat. Dad ate a lot of fast food, and then something changed within Dad, and I think that that would be a cool topic to talk about. So.
Yeah, it would.
I also want to pick your brain about what it's like to have a vegan dad and just your perspective on it because you know when you're with me you don't eat dairy or meat. Usually sometimes dad will let you have a pizza or something, but it's hard for me to believe in something and then let you eat meat and dairy and stuff when I'm against it. But we will talk about that next time.
I'm gonna eat cheese sometimes.
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes, but it's hard for me to let you do that. I have to admit that.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah. It's a challenge though, because, you know, I'm not trying to force my beliefs on you, but at the same time, I'm looking out for you. So we'll talk about that. That's a good episode to have. But I like this episode about emotions, and I'm proud of us. I gotta say, I'm proud of us. And we just gotta keep pushing forward because we are here, two best friends. We're here to help and to just spread that love and kindness. It's important. So, Infinite G and Dad, love, peace, and equality to everybody always. And thank you for watching.
Oh, thank you for watching, folks.
Say it again.
Thank you for watching, folks. That's all, folks.
You can end it.
One more thing, folks. Yeah. Stone Cold Steve Austin just said,
Infinite Shops. All right, we're going to end it.